Coming up next, I'll share 25 recession-proof jobs that you can get right now, and then we're going to take on the burnout issue, the cause and the cure. We'll take your calls and your chats, and it starts right now. I'm coming to you live from Ramsey Solutions Studios in Nashville, and you are joining a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you can do it, where you want to do it, and then the all-important how to get there. Why is this so vitally important? Because you were created to fill a unique role in your work. That means you are needed. Despite what somebody has said about you, despite what somebody has done to you, I'm telling you, you are valuable because somebody in this world needs you to show up. And so that means you have a duty to be you, not a knockoff version of you, not a you that somebody else said you need to be. You need to be you. And so we're going to help you figure that out. There are 7 stages to what we call meaningful work, which is what everybody on the planet longs to do. It doesn't matter what your political persuasion is, doesn't matter what country you're from. I'm telling you, if there's one thing that unites us all, it's that we want to make a difference in this world. We want to see a contribution. And so we're going to help you figure that out. You got to get clear, get qualified, get connected, get started, get the dream job. Get connected, get started, get promoted, get the dream job, then give yourself away. That's the progress. That's what the path looks like. So what stage are you in? We're going to help you figure that out and then how to get to the next stage so that you're going to work on Mondays with some momentum. You're fired up and you're not living for the weekend. 844-747-2577 is the phone number. It's a toll-free number, 844-747-2577. All right, you folks know I like to bring you up-to-the-minute information to help you move forward. Now, reminder, unemployment, low 6s, so this is good news. If you look at this time last year in 2020, we were at all-time record low unemployment at 3.4%. Then the pandemic arrives. We have an artificial shutdown of the economy, and still we're at 6%, low 6% unemployment. And here are some jobs that I believe are recession-proof. This is from Business Insider. Great article here. We're going to roll through these real quick. This is, if you're looking for a pivot or you're just looking to get stable, here's where you need to be looking. Delivery drivers. Here's what COVID did. COVID changed the game. We were already this human race that was all about convenience. Like we were starting, Joe, to get into the grocery delivery thing. You know what I mean? Where you order your groceries online and somebody shows up. I mean, that to me, that was a game changer. All right, I like that. But then when we saw the shutdowns of restaurants, everything else was like, hey, we could still bring food to you. And this is what restaurants did to pivot to stay alive. So delivery drivers, I mean, basically, if there is a good or service, well, it actually be a good, not a service, but if there is a good that you can buy, I'll bet you it can be delivered. Hey, folks, this is a great way to make some extra money, pretty good money too. Mortgage and non-mortgage loan brokers. Let me tell you something. The real estate industry right now is white hot. Home center staff. Now, when I read this, I was like, I don't even know what this is. But this is home-related jobs, people needing care and services in the home, big deal. Next, warehouse club and super center staff, because, again, everybody's getting things delivered. Tax preparation professionals, computer. And by the way, there's always going to be taxes. I can promise you that. Computer and video game console producers. Computer and video game exploding because everybody's at home. Everybody's trying to escape misery. Housing, general contractors, builders. I would just throw in there the trades around the housing industry. Surgical appliances, recyclable materials, wholesalers, building material and garden supply store workers, gun and ammunition manufacturers, biotechnology researchers, warehousing workers, art dealers. That one I scratched my head at that one. But hey, you like art? Apparently it's pretty hot right now. architectural metal workers, slaughterhouse workers. Yikes. But hey, you know what? You don't mind getting dirty. That's what my pal Mike Rowe would call a dirty job. Animal food production, agricultural producers, insurance agents, veterinarians, e-commerce specialists, emergency medicine physicians, breakfast cereal manufacturers, central bank staff, and then health workers. So there are a lot of jobs in hospitals and in clinics right now that are not medical in nature. They are support nature, and those pay pretty good, usually with benefits. So there's a quick rundown. Folks, I don't care what the news is telling you. People are hiring, and we are coming out of this thing. You know, you can watch opinion stuff all day long, and the news loves telling you how awful the world is because what sucks sells. I mean, it just does. Hey, this is awful. And what do? We're like moths to a flame. Tell me more bad news. This is the way it works. It's the psychology of news. But I'm telling you, people are hiring. We are in the low sixes. That's a good thing. So get out there. Get going. Let's go. 844-747-2577 is the number. To the phones we go. To one of my favorite places in the world to say. I've never been there, but it's a top 5 city or place for me to use in a sentence. So this is very exciting. Michelle is joining us in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Michelle, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Awesome. Good to be talking to the king of job clarity.
Hey, wow. I need a crown all of a sudden. That feels very impressive, and I'm feeling maximum pressure to help you. Michelle, thank you for those kind words. What's going on? How can I help?
All right. So I have a quick kind of logistics resume question that kind of leads into the overall bigger picture.
Okay.
So if I have a positive prior work history with a company that I'm now applying to, but that prior history was not in my field and also prior to marriage, so my last name was different, how do I include that on a resume when those prior experiences wouldn't necessarily be considered relevant to my field now and my name is different, so they wouldn't make the connection?
Well, that's a very nuanced question. I think it still is something I would do because it was in a different position. But the reason I would mention it is, hey, previously under my maiden name, I worked for the company and I loved the culture because I think there was something about it that you loved. And if you're going to share that, hey, I was once here before in a different role, in a different season of my life, but I loved it and I'm back this time on purpose.
Yeah, awesome.
I think it's really relevant. You know why it's relevant? Because they hired you once before.
Yeah, and it was really positive for both of us, so that's why I want to mention that. Hopefully I have records going back, looking at it, saying, wow, she was a fantastic addition. Yeah,
listen, I'm going to tell you to go a step further. I'd actually put that in your cover letter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you need to tell them that you were there once before and it was amazing, and very quickly why you left. It wasn't a bad thing. You left for other reasons, right?
Yeah, I was making my way through college debt-free, so I was taking every job I could get.
Yeah,
it wasn't related to my field, but
yeah, just say, hey, I worked here once before. It was one of 3 or 37 jobs, and I loved it. Like, you see the way you're laughing? That's going to be positive. I would absolutely include that. It's relevant from a relationship standpoint.
Okay.
You have a prior relationship, and it was good.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to know where to put it and how to put it because it could be awkward if I state it weird, like, hey, under a last name.
Nah, you're thinking too hard about that. Nobody cares.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. What's awesome. The big question?
So the big question is I'm really clear on the talent and passion parts of the Career Clarity Guide, but I think I'm a little off on mission. I might be thinking about it maybe incorrectly.
I think you're probably thinking about it too hard. That's what I think.
That's also possible.
I'm going to go ahead and say it is. So tell me what you came up with the results that matter most to you. What'd you come up with?
So I love working with details and numbers and making sure that everyone is on the same clear page to whatever decision that they're making. Mm-hmm. I love working with money, processing data, process improvement, and then making sure also that all the employees around me in their job roles are stepping into their roles in the way that they feel passionate about instead of just
Oh my gosh.
filling a hole.
You just answered your passion and mission question. You just don't even realize it. Those are the results that matter to you. The way you just said that are the results that matter to you. But I'll come back to that in a minute. So what did you write down that you went, huh? I'm going to call Ken. I need some help. I'm not getting this. What did you write down?
So I do care about all the results of that work, but I think the bigger thing for me is I want to work for a company it's a company of character.
Mm-hmm.
So it operates with integrity, like transparency, servant-oriented.
Yeah.
That's more important to me necessarily than the specific results. And I feel like maybe that's a little off on how
It's not off.
Mission.
It's not off.
Okay.
It's not off. I love this call. Michelle, you just went another level. You just went beyond mission and went, I'm looking at preference. You're looking at location. Mm-hmm. So talent is what you do best. Passion is work you love to do. Mission are the results that you want to produce. So you know your what and you know your why. You've just started thinking about where. And I love the where question. Yeah. So you go, all I know is I want to work for a values-based company that's high on integrity, high on transparency, good, healthy culture. They love their people. They're missional. Okay, well, that's just the where. Well, go identify those companies first. Because I could tell
like that's
you
the hardest part, though.
No,
everyone can BS in an interview saying, "Oh, we're all about inclusivity and whatever,"
yeah,
but then actions can say differently.
Yeah, but that's what I'm going to tell you to do. I'm not asking you to rely on what they tell you in the interview. I'm asking you to go do your research on them. Here's what you're researching: any negative stories in the media that are legitimate, not just some hatchet negative media hit. I'm saying, how do they treat their vendors? How do they treat their customers? What do their customers say online about them? If you read 1,000 reviews and 800 of them are amazing, that's a really good company. How do they treat their vendors? How do they go talk to people who work for them? You can find somebody who works for them, whether you just got to reach out through 18 connections on LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever, talk to somebody who works there. Believe me, you talk to enough people who work there, you're going to get a really good caricature of what that company's really like. You agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be about finding those people.
Yeah, but that's not hard. It's not as hard as you think it is. I mean, how many people do you know, Michelle, in this world? Call it close family, friends, and acquaintances, and then we'll throw social media on there so that if you reached out to somebody, they would reply. What's that number? Give me just a ballpark.
Ballpark, maybe 200.
Okay, great. 200. How many people do you think each of those 200 people know?
I mean, conservatively, probably 100 to 200.
Yeah, you doing the math on that right now?
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, you're laughing because I got you.
Yeah,
I don't know anybody. Garbage, not true. Just not true. So we got company XYZ, company DEF. We can find somebody who knows about the company and find out if it's a good company. So now back to the mission. You already know the mission. You know the results you want to create. You want to create excellence and efficiency and order. That's what fires up your soul. That's what you want to create. You're just too focused on where you want to create it. Let's go find the great companies, and then they're always going to need people like you who are passionate about details and processes.
I don't want to make the wrong where choice.
But you're not going to, because you're going to do your homework. And by the way, there's no perfect company, so stop trying to find it. But there are lots of good companies who do their work and produce a product or a service in the marketplace, and they do it the right way. You got this, Michelle. 844-747-2577. Chase is up in Phoenix, Arizona. Chase, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken, how are you? Thank you so much for having me on. I'm super excited.
Oh, well, I'm excited to have you on. What's up?
Super excited.
Good.
Hey, I feel like I'm very stuck in my career. I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to push forward.
So let's start with what you want to do.
I want to do real estate. I want to sell real estate.
Awesome. And what do you know? You know something. What do you think is the next step if you want to be a successful real estate agent? What's next?
Honestly, I know you don't make much of an income for the first probably half a year at the very least. So probably saving a good amount of money.
Attaboy. That's a great answer.
Probably
That's a
Probably
great
getting
answer.
out of baby step 2. I mean, I know there'll be months where you're making absolutely zero.
How
so
much
that's
how
just
much
the way it
debt do
is.
you have in baby step 2?
30.
Okay. All right. And what do you make right now?
So I'm pretty much 100% commission as well with the job I'm not really a fan of. It varies. I would probably say gross 50.
Are you giving it everything you got? Be honest.
I'm so burnt out with my job. I actually took the week off this week.
Oh my gosh. But wait a second. What if we switch our mindset to go, I'm in a commission job that I'm not giving my all to. And I understand. I'm not beating up on you, Chase, but I'm going, that straight commission job is the ticket to getting out of debt faster and saving up money faster.
I know it's tempting. It's very tempting, but I mean, no matter what I do, like, you know, I have a son who needs a lot of medical attention. I have one on the way, so there's everything that's behind me that's rallying, like, go forward, do something if you want out of this job, work harder so you can get out of this job, but I just can't seem to find the motivation.
Well, yes, you can. We just discussed the motivation.
I know. No, I know it's all there. I know it's all there. It's very difficult to move forward because I really do not like my job.
I know you don't like it. But but I don't care if you don't like it right now because it's a day job. We know what the dream job is.
Yeah.
So you either find something else that's a straight commission job that you like that will give you this juice that you can't seem to find, but I'm about ready to address that in a second. Or you stick with this thing and get really serious and go, I've got plenty of motive. Number one, I got a son who has tremendous medical needs. There's motive number one.
Yeah.
Motive number two is you want to be out of debt, and you're close. 30,000 is so doable. Motive number three. Hold on, I'm not done. Motive number 3 for you is to be able to get out of debt and save up enough money so that you can go all in as a real estate agent and make more money than you've ever made in your life and take care of your son and live like no one else. Dude, I don't know anybody on this planet that has as much motivation as you do. You're just not doing anything about it.
You're right. You're exactly right. I feel like I got to pull myself to my desk, looking for every excuse to
No.
No.
Listen to me, Chase. You got to pull yourself to getting out of debt. You got to pull yourself to earn the money to take care of your son. You got to pull yourself to make enough money to save so that you can go after real estate and be alive at work. You still got it all wrong. It has nothing to do with the job you don't like. It has nothing to do with pulling yourself to your desk. It has everything with going, I've got a desired future that is as clear as anything I've ever seen. And I've got to stinking bite the stick and go in and crush this job. Because when I crush it, I earn more money. When I earn more money, I'm one step closer to the dream.
That sounds about right.
I don't think this is funny.
It's just.
I think you need to get serious.
Yeah.
Chase, I love you, man. I want you to know that. I do. Because here's the deal. When you go into real estate, you're going to have to be all in too. So you might as well start practicing that intensity that you need. Because you can save up some money, but you need to go all in. Now, I'm going to give you one other piece of advice. I still want you to get after this, and when you can, get a little bit of, just save a little bit 1 month while you're doing the baby steps, because you can do this. Sell something, do something, and come up with the money to take the real estate test, study for it, and go ahead and get that done. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got 30 hours left.
Great. Okay, great. Finish that. Get ready for that, and then start making connections with potential realtors who would be your broker and take you under their wing and help you. Go ahead and do that while you're getting out of the $30,000 of debt and saving up to be able to do it. Because here's the deal. I don't think you can make it full time. I don't think you can make the money you need to being a part-time realtor. But you can.
Agreed.
But listen, you can sell a house or two on the side and pay that debt off. I do believe you can do that. I do believe you can do a way better job in your current job and make better money. I also think that you can get qualified and sell a house or two before this year is over. Maybe 3, just doing nights and weekends.
Oh, I work all weekends and nights.
Okay,
I
well
work
then.
till midnight.
Okay, well then, whenever you're not working, can you not show a house or two?
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
I know the answer is yes. Now, again, you wouldn't be able to do it to the point to live off of it yet, but what if one house takes care of that debt? Because you're busting it in your commission job too. But you sell one house and it takes care of the debt, what's left over. Or 2 houses takes care of it. 3 houses gets a kind of a floating fund so that you can go all in. I mean, Chase, this is all in front of you, man.
No, I know. I can see it. It's just how do I get there?
What do you mean? How do you get there? I just told you how to get there.
I know. It's the motivational thing.
Well, don't get me started again. I've already beat that horse.
I know. I know.
Chase, listen, man. You better have me in your ear. If you have any problem getting into work, like you still got work to do today. If you have a problem with your attitude tonight, you better get alone and say, how bad do I really want this future? Because clearly you don't want it bad enough if you're still having motivation problems after this talk. You better figure out a way to get your son's face in front of you. You better figure out a way to get some kind of mental image of selling homes and that dream job on your mirror or on your closet door. You better start focusing, man. You're not focused on the right things. You're focused on all the reasons why you can't do it and how tired you are and how tough life is. Well, join the club. I started out doing Saturday radio, and I couldn't even afford it, but I still paid $250 for an hour. That hurt back then, Joe. It hurt. It hurt the budget. I had a wife and 3 kids. When I moved into that 5 to 7 p.m. slot on WDUN, I wasn't home until 7:45 because it was that far of a drive. My kids were already getting ready for bed. My soul hurt for a year. But you know what I realized? My kids didn't know. They were clueless. I had to do it, Joe. I had to do it. Or there is none of this.
You had to do it to make the change.
At some point, folks, you got to decide, what future do I want and what do I have to do to get there? You got all the motivation you need. You're just not focused on it. All right, quick break. I'm going to calm down a little bit. We're going to shift gears. We'll get into the chat room. A little bit later, I'm going to teach on burnout, the cause and the cure. Don't want to miss that. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
We were drawn to Christian Healthcare Ministries because we both had young families and we wanted to have more children. And we had also just started a real estate company and needed to find healthcare coverage that would meet our needs.
We were attracted to CHM because of its low monthly costs and the ability to negotiate medical costs down.
Established in 1981 and accredited by the Better Business Bureau, CHM is here to meet the needs of your growing family or small business. Check us out at chministries.org.
We absolutely believe in it.
The Ken Coleman Show continues from our Ramsey Solutions World Headquarters here in Nashville. We're talking about what you were created to do. We're talking about meaningful work. 80% of the world is disengaged at work. There's a reason for that. 2 main reasons. Number one, you don't have any juice for it, no passion for the work. You don't love it. You might be good at it, but it doesn't mean a lot to you. The second reason is you've got a toxic work environment. We're going to touch on that in just a few moments. We're going to talk about burnout, the cause and the cure, because burnout is not an actual thing. It's a feeling, and we're going to get to that. But let's go to the chat room first. Question comes in from Ruben. He says, I'm currently on baby step 3 for you non-Ramsey Show listeners. That means he is saving up 3 to 6 months of his expenses. And he says, I'm currently on baby step 3 and I'm working several jobs to get through the steps. How do I know when I'm sacrificing too much of my time working? Well, I appreciate the question, Ruben, and this is coming from a guy who's probably not seeing his family a whole lot. because he's so intense. And Ruben, I would say this is a temporary deal. You've worked really, really hard to get out of debt, and now you're working to get 3 to 6 months of expenses in the bank. And once you get through baby step 3 of Dave's 7 baby steps, you can take a break, man. You can relax a little bit. So I would say that if you're not seeing the family a whole lot right now, I would just remind them that this is for a short amount of time and literally tell them, hey, in a month or 2 or 3 months or so, Dad's not going to be working all these crazy hours. So I think right now you're fine. Shivanji writes in, I enjoy public speaking. Ken, as a public speaker, what entry positions would you recommend to that field of work? Okay, I love this question. If you want to eventually be a public speaker or a content provider on a public level, the entry level is volunteer to speak as much as possible. You'd be surprised at how many people will let you speak for free. And here's the good news about that. You can have some raw talent, but when you first start speaking, you're going to suck compared to where you end up. I'm just going to tell you. It's just a fact. So it's okay to suck for free. I'd feel bad if I sucked and I charged somebody. You know what I mean? But when it's free, I mean, we're all kind of here going, we ain't paying you, and I'm going, I'm not getting paid, and I'm going to do my best. Now, I didn't say go in and suck on purpose. What I'm saying is when you start out as a content provider, you need to own that you're not going to be as good as you eventually will be. That's the point I'm making, and that's okay. There's only one way, Joe, to get better at speaking. Speak. I wish there was a better way. You know, it's kind of like somebody who wants to get into painting. Same deal. You might have some raw artistic talent, but your first couple paintings compared to where you're going to be 5 to 10 years from now are going to be vastly different. Like, I wouldn't want anybody to hear my first shows. Now, Joe always goes, oh, you're hard on yourself and blah, blah, blah. Well, they were decent, but that's not what I want to be known for. I mean, who walks around going, you know, when I get older, I just want to be decent. I'll take the average life. You know, who does that? Who says, Nathan, have you ever said to your wife, hey, sweetheart, I think we're going to do an average vacation this year? You don't say that. Nobody goes, hey, let's go to an average restaurant for your date night. And we save average for the kids when we're coming home from practice. And okay, we'll move into the average fast food restaurant because I really don't care. But I'm taking Stacy out to a nice dinner. I don't go, hey, babe, really excited. Did a lot of research. And several 3-star restaurants in Nashville. Thought we'd go check those out. Like, nobody says that. Okay, so understand that as you get better, we are moving beyond average. And so when I say that you've got to have this expectation you're not going to be very good at first, that's what I mean. And you need to embrace that because that's how you get excellent. You just get started. You know, first time Tom Brady started playing quarterback at some point in his youth career, I'm going to tell you right now, he was not great. I'm sure, though, we could go back and talk to his coaches and they'd say, he had some raw talent. He had a good arm, had a live arm, had to work on his technique. He's still slow as molasses, you know, whatever it is. So when you start something, a craft, understand it's going to be the worst. The worst is the first, and that's okay. 844-747-2577 is the number, 844-747-2577. Okay, I want to teach on something that is always a big search engine search. I hear it talked about in the news on a weekly basis. It's become a part of our public lexicon. It's just out there, and it's burnout. We get the call all the time on the show. Ken, I need your help. I'm burned out. And over time, as I began to help folks and dive into their story, and they'd say, Ken, I was burned out, I realized that burnout is a symptom. So it's just like if I go to the doctor and I say my knee's hurting, and the doc says, well, was there an actual injury? Were you playing a sport? I go, no, I just woke up and it started to hurt. That happens more and more, by the way, when you're in your mid-40s. Like, get out of bed in the middle of the night and your knee hurts. Like, what happened? Did you blow your ACL? No, I got up to go to the bathroom. I don't know what happened. You know, and it happens. So if I've got a sore knee or shoulder or whatever it is, I'm going to go to the doctor. What does the doctor do? The doctor's looking for the source of my pain. So I've identified 5 primary sources that cause burnout. But the actual diagnosis, Joe, is build up on the heart. So if somebody feels burned out, I know when they call in, I go, okay, you feel burned out. I got it. Let's examine what's causing the buildup on your heart. And so let me just give you an analogy, then we're going to break it down for you. If I put my hand right here where my heart is and I'm quiet for 2 seconds, I can feel my heart beating right now. And so can you. But if I put blanket after blanket after blanket or coat, whatever, and I create a layer upon layer upon layer, and I put my hand right here, my hand is actually no longer touching my body. I'm pressing in, but there's so many layers there that I can't feel the heartbeat. That's what I mean when I say build up. And when you are in a work situation where build up from these 5 causes takes place, you're going to feel burned out. Burnout is essentially mental, emotional, and physical unhappiness. That's really what it is. So here we go. Reason number 1 for buildup on the heart. There's no juice for the job. You got no juice. You don't love the work. You're good at it. And you've been good at it for a long time, but you don't love it. You can't remember the last time you got excited about your work. You're just good at it and you do it. No juice. There's no passion for it. Second cause of buildup on the heart, toxic work environment. That is a jerk boss or really toxic coworkers and teammates. Maybe even the whole company culture is toxic. And it's just nasty. Now, let me just tell you something about this particular cause of buildup. You can be in your sweet spot, folks, using what you do best to do work you love, to produce results that matter to you. And if you keep going into a toxic environment, you don't want to show up anymore. That's why we get so much confusion. I can't tell you how many elementary school teachers have called this show over the last 3 or 4 years, Joe, and they love teaching. They always wanted to teach. They're an instructor at their heart, but they can't stand their job. It has nothing to do with the work. It's the environment. I get that call almost every week. So toxic work environment can cause buildup on the heart. And the very thing that you once were passionately in love with, you don't even want to show up and do anymore, and it creates confusion. Number 3, cause of buildup. You're overwhelmed at work. I see this all the time. You feel like the moment you pull into the parking lot at the office that you're drinking from a fire hose. I can't even breathe. I'm drowning, and it's 8:15. You're overwhelmed. 4th cause of buildup on the heart. You're feeling underappreciated. One of the core psychological needs of every human is to be known, to be seen. Do you see me? Do you appreciate me? Do I matter is a way of saying this. And leaders are so bad at this that they'll just keep piling on the work, and they're so bad at going, attaboy, attagirl. Pull them aside. Look them in the eye. Let them know that you see them and just say, doing a great job. Even better leaders, listen to me, do it in front of their coworkers. We know from HR data, listen to this, we know from HR studies that we humans would rather receive public recognition or some reward that is a form of recognition than we would a pay raise. It's not my opinion, that's the data. You know it if you think about it long enough. Finally, 5th cause of buildup on the heart, which causes the feeling of being burned out, and it's bored. Some of you are at a job and you're watching me while you're at work. And while I'm grateful that you're watching me instead of working, you're stealing. And when my show's over, when again, I'm very grateful that you're watching the show, and you need to be watching the show. You need to be watching it on demand, though, not live here on YouTube. You're going to spend the rest of your day hoping that Facebook refreshes and somebody puts a new cat video out. That's how bored you are. Gee whiz, my friends aren't doing anything on Insta today. What am I going to do with myself? You're bored. Let me tell you something. This is an insidious one that sneaks up on a lot of people because we are creatures of progress. We long to do something. We long to do it better. So those are the 5 causes of buildup on the heart. Quick review: no juice for the job, toxic work environment, overwhelmed with work, feeling underappreciated, and bored. So those are the causes. What's the cure? Clarity. Clarity is the first step of the cure of buildup, which causes burnout. I got to get clear. First, I get clear on what of these 5 causes of buildup on my heart. Which of the 5 am I experiencing? Is it 2? Is it 3? Is it all 5? Let's get clear on that first. Second, let's get clear on what I was created to do. What is the role in the workplace that I was created to fill? Get clear at stage 1 of what I teach. What do you do best? Talent. What work do you love to do? Passion. And what results do you want to produce in the world? Mission. I use what I do best to do work I love, to accomplish results that matter deeply to me. Get clear on your sweet spot, and then you're going to see lots of different jobs. And then we go, okay, I got to get qualified, or I'm already qualified. That's stage 2. Then stage 3, get connected. Start making connections. It's the proximity principle. Then you're going to have the opportunity to start, and then the opportunity to move up, get promoted, and eventually step into that dream job. Get the dream job, and then ultimately you're working not for money, but working for meaning, because the money and all the success and recognition comes with this. This is what we long for. So that's the cure. Clarity, because once I'm clear, I'm confident. Once I'm clear, I'm confident. I know that when doubt and fear starts to get on my shoulder and say, I don't know if you can do this, I go, shut up, I'm clear. I know that when fear comes in and goes, oh, I'm probably going to fail, I go, shut up, I got this, I'm clear. I know I've got the talent to do this. Clarity, listen to this, breeds confidence. And this is the fun part. Confidence breeds courage. A clear person is confident, and when they need it most, they have the courage. See, courage cannot show up unless I am clear. Because clarity goes, this is what's right, this is what I got to do. I've said this example many times. If you've ever seen one of these heroic stories of somebody that pulls somebody out of a burning car or dives into the river and pulls somebody out of a car, they are putting their life at risk, and we say, oh, they're so courageous, and they are. But where did the courage come in that moment to put their life at risk for somebody else, a complete stranger? It comes from clarity. Here's what happens. They see this accident, they see what's going on, and instantly they know this person's going to die if somebody doesn't help them. And I'm here right now, I think I can help them. That's the instant clarity. The confidence, I'm doing this. I can do this. That's instant. They come together right there. I need to help them. Somebody needs help and they're going to die. I can help them. That's that confidence, clarity and confidence. And then what happens before they even think about it, they're diving in the water or they're pulling somebody out of a burning car. Courage. So courage to stay on this path, folks, because it's a long journey sometimes. Courage to face your doubt. Courage to face your fear. That comes from clarity, that you know you were meant to do this. And that somebody needs you to be the best version of you. It's not about us. None of this is about us. It's about the contribution in the lives of others. And you think you're just a guidance counselor at a school, or you just think that you're a hairdresser, or you just think that you're whatever, fill in the blank. The reality is, if that's the role that makes your heart sing, then step into it, own it. And there's always somebody on the other end of that work who needs you. Clarity, confidence, and courage. If you're feeling burned out right now, hit rewind and watch this back again. Do an assessment in your life. And the good news is, once we know what's causing the buildup, we can fix that. And we can live and work like no one else. My time is almost up. But before I let you go, I want you to know that you matter and you do have what it takes. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.